president for August 1st protest. On the foreign scene, landslide kills 56 people and traps dozens in India. And in sports, Nigeria Football Federation advertises vacant Fly Eagles job. In our bulletin this afternoon is a news commentary on World Friendship Day. Details of this and other stories coming up shortly. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at this hour. My name is NYAKNNO, Albert. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has signed the new Minimum Wage Act into law. President Tinubu signed the new law at the council chamber of the presidential villa in Abuja. The brief ceremony was witnessed by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin, and the House Leader, Professor Julius Ihomvere, who represented the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. It comes nearly 2 weeks after President Bola Tinubu and the organized labor unions comprising the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria agreed on 70,000 naira as the new minimum wage. As tension mounts across the country ahead of the End Bad Governance protest, the president of the PLO Lumumba Foundation Nigeria chapter, Ambassador Pastor Etobobong Nathaniel, has appealed to Nigerian youth to shelve their planned protest scheduled for August 1st, urging them to give President Tinubu's administration time to implement its policies and reforms. Speaking with one of our correspondents, Pastor Nathaniel acknowledged the frustrations and concerns that led to the planned protest, but emphasized the need for patience, noting that President Tinubu inherited a government with deep-seated issues which will take time to address. Nathaniel believes that giving the administration time to implement its vision is crucial for meaningful progress. In another development, a cleric, Pastor Dol Moses, has admonished Nigerian youth to reconsider their plans for protest scheduled for the coming days. Expressing understanding with the frustrations and grievances that have led to this point, Pastor Moses believes that taking to the streets may not be the most effective way to address hardship at this point. Moses encourages Nigerian youth to, instead of protesting, explore alternative channels for expressing their concerns and advocating for change. Moving on, Divine Saints High School's Eket has sent off 26 graduates of both Ediam and Ikoroso campuses in the Eket local government area in a prize giving and 8th graduation ceremony in honor of the 2024 outgoing students. Speaking at the occasion as reported by correspondent Mary Akpan, the chairman of the school, Pastor Ian Toby, who confirmed the outgoing students as ambassadors, charged them to aim high with set goals as the world looks out for a manifestation from them, while Professor Charles Oko, who delivered a keynote address, urged them to keep the relationship with the school alive for posterity's sake.
structures. One thing that I want to remind you that set goals, closer and keep moving. As you are going out, go and exert. Do not make the wall red or paint the wall green. So when you go back to me, give your best a very big thank you.
The Director of Schools, Pastor Idarasa Toby, who mentioned hard work as a prerequisite for growth, appreciated the graduates and thanked God for sustaining the school, while some parents appreciated the school's effort.
The event was a very historic one. We really thank God for everything, for the parents that attended. We had a massive turnout and it was so explosive. We couldn't have been able to achieve all of this without the help of God. So we are step on the door with God Almighty. But as the director of this institution, the future holds great for the YNC's students. Just like we've always told them that hard work is the vehicle that drives success.
And everyone, parents who came from far and near to grace this occasion, our brother will be very beautiful and handsome. And we hope to have another graduation ceremony to project a new divine seed. And for our graduating students, we say congratulations to them and we wish them a good heart desire.
God honor this year and make it to be a day of joy for us. Thank God for everything. The school is very, very interesting. It's a good one. If somebody has a child and put it in this school, it is very good.
The overall best graduating student, Dominion Savior, who was presented with a cash prize of 100,000 naira by the chairman and director of schools, spoke glowingly of the school.
The more than I can count, so it's a rewarding event for me. It's my hard work that is paying off, and I think that if you actually want to be rewarded, then you need to work hard, put in more effort than everybody. That you need to read and read effectively. As a really effective that favors you. Learning methods we apply here works effectively for the students. When you enter inside the school, the learning method is very effective and very confident for everybody. They have time for all the students, each student's particular problems and their strengths, which they work on. I would even advise anybody to come to Vice that Vice is your own and everybody should be here.
Hard work pays, and I give God all the glory for bringing me here after 6 years journey, which I know is not easy.
Divine Seeds High School, comprising of Ediama Nikoroso campus, is an extension of Divine Seed Schools and Ministries located at 20 Ediam Street, Akwa Ibom State, established 16 years ago. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has warned organizers of the proposed protests across the country that while they have the right to do so, they do not have the right to destabilize the country. Senator Akpabio also accused politicians who lost out during the last general elections of being the brains behind the protests to take over the government through the back door. The Senate President stated this during the signing of the new minimum wage by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa yesterday. He said that he was excited about the Nigerian worker and the National Minimum Wage Amendment. And talking security now, the military and the police have commenced the massive nationwide deployment of soldiers and police personnel ahead of the August 1st End Bad Governance protest planned by some youth and civil society groups. According to reports, security agencies, including the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, have put their personnel on red alert in anticipation of the proposed nationwide rally organized to draw the government's attention to the economic hardship faced by citizens. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, confirmed the troops' deployment but said there was nothing new about it, noting that soldiers have always been deployed across the country for counter-terrorism operations. The organizers, who have refused appeals by the presidency and police authorities to abandon the demonstrations, want an improvement in the soaring cost of living and a reversal of some harsh government policies, particularly the removal of petrol subsidy, which along with ongoing security issues in farming regions has led to increased transportation costs and subsequent food inflation. Up next is a commentary on World Friendship Day as written and read by Honorable Nkot of our News and Current Affairs Department.
among people worldwide as it holds special significance in 2024, emphasizing unity, understanding, and peace among diverse communities. Highlighting the power of friendships, Day underscores their role in inspiring peace and bridging cultural divides. It also encourages youth engagement, promoting international understanding and respect. Aligned with the culture of peace, it advocates for values that reject violence and promote conflict resolution through dialogue and reconciliation. Overall, it is a time to cherish friendships, recognize their impact on our lives, and unite for a more empathetic world. Since its establishment by the United Nations General Assembly in 2011, this day has aimed to highlight the importance of fostering friendships among individuals, communities, and nations, serving as a global platform to encourage unity and solidarity, with a particular focus on engaging youth in building a more peaceful and inclusive world. The United Nations encourages activities and events worldwide to promote friendship's essence. People celebrate by exchanging gifts and token of appreciation, expressing gratitude for their friends' companionship and support. As we mature, let us become intentional with whom we share our deepest needs. As true friends, provide guidance and support, especially in solitude or during old age, having in mind the famous saying,
That was a commentary on World Friendship Day. You're listening to Global News on Memories 96.5 FM, and now to the rest of the news on the foreign scene. A commander in a Russian mercenary group has been killed in Mali following an attack by rebel fighters during a sandstorm. The military regime in the West African state had turned to the notorious Wagner group in 2021, seeking support in fighting jihadist and separatist forces. The Russian outfit, which has now morphed into a group named Africa Corps, yesterday said it had joined Mali's military in fierce battles against separatist rebels and jihadist militants last week. Sources close to Africa Corps told newsmen that the separatists, however, launched a major attack, killing an estimated 20 to 50 mercenaries. And in India, at least 56 people have been killed and dozens feared trapped after heavy rains triggered massive landslides in the southern Indian state of Kerala. The landslides struck hilly areas in Wayanad district in the early hours of today. Rescue operations are underway but are being hindered by heavy rains and the collapse of a crucial bridge. India's army said it had sent more than 200 personnel to the area to assist security forces in search and rescue efforts. Local hospitals are treating at least 70 injured people, and around 250 people have been rescued and shifted to rescue camps so far. And in sports, the Nigeria Football Federation has called for applications from qualified candidates to fill the vacant position of coach of the men's under-20 national team, otherwise known as the Flying Eagles. Ahead of the qualifiers for the 2025 Under-20 World Cup, which will be played in Chile, the country's football governing body has now moved to employ a new gaffer for the team. The public notice, which is on the Federation's website, has specified that candidates should possess at least a CAF B license, must have been in football coaching for at least 5 years, be conversant with Niger's domestic game, possess strong leadership qualities, and be able to communicate effectively in English language. The Federation said the position is open to all Nigerian coaches, including those working in the diaspora, adding that the submission of applications will close on August 4th, 2024, with a successful candidate to be named after a thorough screening process. And that's it on Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. But before we go, another look at the top stories. Divine Seeds High School's ECAT has sent up 26 graduates of both Ediam and Ikoroso campuses in the ECAT local government area in a prize giving and 8th graduation ceremony in honor of the 2024 outgoing students. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has warned organizers of the proposed protests across the country that while they have the right to do so, they do not have the right to destabilize the country. We also told you that the military and the police have commenced a massive nationwide deployment of soldiers and police personnel ahead of the August 1st End Bad Governance protest planned by some youths and civil society groups. And from the foreign scene, you heard that at least 56 people have been killed and dozens fear trapped after heavy rains triggered massive landslides in the southern Indian state of Kerala. And in sport, the Nigeria Football Federation has called for applications from qualified candidates to fill the vacant position of coach of the men's under-20 national team, otherwise known as the Flying Eagles. The news this afternoon was edited by Ofonise Abasi Johnson and assisted by the production team. For views regarding our news or coverage of your newsworthy events, you can reach us on email newsroom@memoriesmediang.com or call our Newsroom hotline on 0909 000 0581. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Memories965FM. And now let's take you down memory lane. On this day in 1956, the phrase "In God We Trust" legally became the national motto of the United States. That's the news. Thank you so much for listening. My name is NYAKNNO Albert. Good afternoon.